Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you could see it and you could purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today, we are talking about the new for 2019 FP Journe Octa Sport Automatique Reserve. An automatic with a power reserve. The timepiece is complicated. It's complex. It's also remarkably rich, heavy, I would even say decadent. A timepiece composed entirely of platinum with a solid gold movement. It's imposing, and though not thick, it's redoubtable in its mass on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, 44 millimeters in diameter. The watch is a compact 11 millimeters thick. It's effectively a lugless watch. As you can see, there's even a little bit of countersink about the case flank that allows the end link of the bracelet to move into the flank of the case. But if you measure it across the wrist, the rigid outermost span that you can't pull down any further is actually 54.3 millimeters, and I don't like calling this watch 54.3 lug to lug because it feels more compact than that. I can't wear a watch that large. So 54.3 is the span, but think of the watch more as something that wears about 50 or 51 across the wrist for fits purposes. Again, my wrist 16 centimeters circumference. This watch is a juggernaut. Full platinum case, solid gold movement, a full platinum bracelet, but let's not undersell that this is a gentle giant, easy to wear, and it has both brains and brawn. As you'll note, an incredible hand-chiseled finish on the bracelet itself. FP Journe has heard your pleas. The rubber bumpers are gone, replaced by nothing so much as masses of precious metal. There's a lovely V-style slope to the flanking links, polish on the outer face, and you can see plenty of gaps on the underside to avoid pulling hair, pinching skin, or trapping wrist heat. You'll also note that sizing is done by means of screws, so the removable links can be removed with screws and sized at home. Internally, a double fold deploying clasp, and you'll note the spring-loaded ceramic pin snaps that allow this clasp to maintain its tolerance over time, as the gold cannot aggress against the ceramic. Polished FP Journe logo outboard, and of course this is where the rubber bumper used to be. It used to be on the bracelet, it used to be on the underside of the clasp, and it used to be on the flanks of the case. You can see replaced in every instance by polished precious metal. The case is of the same chiseled frosted finish. There's a handsome bevel that runs alongside the case band and a polished bezel that runs inboard. You'll also appreciate that the gasket for the bezel is expressed underneath, a little bit like a royal oak. There is a mauve ceramic insert, scratch resistant, on the bezel itself, and then a matching mauve dial. It's somewhere between purple and blue with maybe a little bit of a slate mixed in. You can see there's a sort of hobnail center and a satin track with applique satin finished Arabic numerals, and you can see they are a sort of frosted finish to match the case, but they are a satin brushed grain that matches the bezel for the small seconds as well as the hands themselves. You have a double digit date, and the double digit date with a quick set mechanism, so you can rapidly cycle should the watch run down or encounter an irregular length month. It's fun to play with the double digit date. It's a complication in its own right. And you'll note, although the power reserve indicator measures 120 hours, Journe stipulates that that is the chronometric power reserve through which the watch will keep the best time. It will in fact run to 160 hours plus or minus 5%, which gets you just about to 7 days. There is also a whimsical day-night indicator on the dial. That's what you're looking at, that little kidney-shaped form in the dial that changes from white to red as you enter the night hours, and then transitions once more from red to white as morning dawns. Now the watch has an impressive rose gold movement. Let's pop it open. It's caliber 1303. This is the latest unidirectional winding 160 hour power reserve version of the legendary caliber 1300. Automatic winding with a 22 karat mass. You can see that this movement is essentially a big medallion of gold, and I've held an FP Journe movement blank in my hand, and I can confirm that it feels like you're holding an enormous gold dollar coin. 160 hour power reserve, free sprung and adjusted in 5 positions. The free sprung architecture allows it to take bumps, disruptions, concussions on the wrist and not change its regulation. That's the advantage of free sprung over a mobile stud index. A large balance with a moment of inertia of 10.10 milligrams per centimeter squared. That is a big balance as these things go, beating away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. You'll note there are circular Côte de Genève across the bridges, black polished screw heads with chamfered slots, a grand doge or barley corn form across the rotor, and then there is an engine turned perlage on the base plate in 2 different sizes. It is beautiful, handsomely executed with a sharp bevel along the edge of every bridge. All of this water resistant down to 30 meters, so while it is not an aquatic sports watch necessarily, you have a swimmable FP Journe Elegant 48 for that specifically, don't you? Of course you do. You're a connoisseur, and this is a connoisseur's brand. You can see this 2019 FP Journe Journe Octa Sport Automatic Reserve and make it yours on the watch box.